Now that Tiana's Bayou adventure is open, what does the rest of Frontierland look like? What's its future?
So many people have said that this brand new attraction is ruining Frontierland's theming forever and inevitably has doomed the rest of the land to be reimagined. But
to find out Frontierland's future, first we have to dive into its past and stick around to the end because we're going to try to get on Tiana's Bayou adventure today. It's been down and up. Will we get on? Who knows?
Frontierland was one of the original lands when Magic Kingdom opened in 1971. Inspired by Walt Disney's vision, it was designed to capture the color, romance, and drama of America's frontier era. Frontierland debuted with 3 attractions: the Walt Disney World Railroad Station, Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes, and the world debut of the Country Bear Jamboree. Many people think that Tom Sawyer Island was also part of the original lineup, but no, it wasn't. That didn't open until 1973. The northwest end of the park was supposed to receive a massive pavilion-style e-ticket attraction, which was never built. The area actually just sat empty until Big Thunder Mountain Railroad premiered in 1980. And nothing really changed until in 1991 when, of course, Splash Mountain opened.
All right, we talked about the history of Frontierland. Now let's talk about speculations and what I think will happen in the future with all Frontierland. Starting with, behind me, the classic, the amazing Big Thunder Mountain. Honestly, I think this will stay the same. You know, Disney has talked about in the future what's beyond Big Thunder Mountain, meaning that what's beyond it is what's going to change. I really don't think they're going to touch Big Thunder, but I think a refurbishment is needed to catch up to the Disneyland standard because the Disneyland Big Thunder Mountain 10 times better. Amazing. All right, now let's talk about Tom Sawyer's Island. It's a great place for your kids to run around, get out some energy. I love the caves. They're tight, they're creepy, and then the fort area and the bridges and everything, nobody goes back there. So it's kind of a wasted space in a way. I heard this from Off the Monorails first because they did a podcast talking about the future of Frontierland, what they would do. It should become part of the what's beyond Big Thunder Mountain. They should take that whole area, wrap it around Big Thunder, and make it whatever they're going to do back there, make that part of it. I'm sorry, Tom Sawyer's Island, you gotta go. Let's talk about the final attraction, which is behind us. We have the brand new Country Bear Jamboree. It kind of seems silly to talk about the future of it because we already know the future of it. They wouldn't redo a show just to close it. So we kind of know that's going to be what it is, it is what it is. I've heard a lot of people, you know, not thrilled about the song changes because it's more IP related songs, you know, songs from movies like the Zootopia country. It's like a Country Bear Jamboree version of Zootopia. I love that personally. Like, it brings me back to, I love punk goes pop covers, you know, or there's so many albums that cover Disney songs in like a rock manner. I'm not as big of a country fan, but I think that's great. I think it's going to be a heck of a fun time because everybody's going to know those songs. They're going to clap, they're going to sing along. As of recording today, I just found out that the Frontierland Shootin' Arcade will be closing and be replaced by a DVC member lounge, which I think is important. They should have something. They paid so much money. They should at least have a lounge. They can go take some AC breaks while they're in the park. But this was a nice, you know, feature to the park, but obviously one that wasn't very popular. But I will say that now that this is announced, you'll have everybody in the comments of every video that's talking about it saying like, oh, why are they closing that? That was my favorite thing to do. Even though, like, there's no way they were ever in here actually using the Frontierland Shooting Arcade. You agree? Happens every time. All right, let's talk about food in Frontierland. What do we think is going to be the future? We got Golden Oak Outpost, Pecos Bills, and of course the Golden Horseshoe. We already know that Golden Oak Outpost will be the home of beignets and other themed Tiana's food for New Orleans style cuisine. But what we don't know for certain is about Pecos Bills or Diamond Horseshoe. Of course, at the time of recording. We're recording this before Tiana's actually opens so we can post it when Tiana's opens. So by that time we might hear something about Pecos Bills becoming Tiana's food. And honestly, that's what I think it should become. It's right next to Tiana's. We already have Tiana's food in Disneyland. Make it the same in Walt Disney World. Me and Emberlyn got the opportunity to try Tiana's food. So here's that review right here.
We are here at Tiana's Palace and we got yummy things.
She's gonna try the muffalata.
Yes, I am. It's good. I taste, I think there's like olives and pickled stuff in here.
Yeah, it's like an olive relish.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It's very good, I like it. Like the bread that it's on too. Yummy thing.
All right, next up is the gumbo. Try to get a little bit of everything here. I wouldn't say it's as good as the Cafe Orleans gumbo, but it's up there. It's very good. I mean, seasoned well. It's got a little spice, and then you're just gonna spoon some cornbread.
Oh yes, I'm interested to see how the cornbread is.
Very good. It's moist. Yeah, it's very good cornbread. Our last item from Tiana's Palace is their house beignet, which is lemon flavored. Lemon icing, lemon filling, I forget. Why don't you try it, Emberlyn?
Okay. That is quite good. Very strong lemon. I'm a lemon person, so.
You're a lemon person?
I'm a lemon person, yes.
And that brings us to the big question. Does Tiana's Bayou Adventure fit with the theme of Frontierland? And to answer this, we have to first define what a frontier really is or was.
Historically, the frontier represents the boundary between known and unknown territories, often marked by the edge of settled areas pushing into wilderness. It's a space of exploration, adventure, and the clash of civilizations, shaping the identity and character of those who venture into it. In an American context, the frontier is famously associated with the westward expansion of the 19th century. This period saw pioneers, settlers, and explorers pushing beyond the established eastern states into the vast, uncharted lands of the West. The frontier was a dynamic space, constantly shifting as new territories were explored and settled. Now, you might wonder, was New Orleans even part of the frontier? Absolutely. Even though it was earlier, it was founded in 1718 by the French, and New Orleans was a critical gateway to the vast interior of North America. New Orleans played a crucial role in the economic and cultural development of the region. As a major port city on the Mississippi River, it facilitated trade and commerce, connecting the interior territories with the global economy. The city's strategic location made it a focal point for military conflicts, such as the Battle of New Orleans during the War of 1812, highlighting its importance in the broader narrative of the American frontier. Okay, so that's all your historical context, but again, we're talking about a themed land in Disney World. Is it really that important? Some fans argue that this attraction doesn't fit into the Western frontier theme because it's set in 1927, well after the traditional frontier era ended. Critics' main point about this is that Frontierland typically represents the mid to late 19th century, focusing on themes of westward expansion, pioneer life, and the Wild West, right? And we see attractions like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Country Bear Jamboree, all kind of evoke this historical period. Now, the concern is that Tiana's Bayou Adventure, with its 1927 setting and New Orleans backdrop, kind of disrupt this thematic cohesion. Here's a compelling counter-argument after thinking about this for many days leading up to making this video. While the frontier as a concept is often associated with the 19th century, its spirit of adventure and cultural melting pot extended into the 20th century, especially in regions like New Orleans. Tiana's story, which again is set in 1927, reflects this continuity. Here's the point, is Tiana's Bayou Adventure can be seen as an evolution of the frontier narrative. That doesn't mean that it has to ruin it. The ride's setting in the bayou and the focus of Tiana's journey opening her restaurant capture that same spirit of exploration, resilience, and innovation. And honestly, I think this backdrop of Tiana's Bayou Adventure could actually add some depth to Frontierland's theme of adventure and discovery. And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that disagree with me. But at the end of the day,
does Tiana's fit with the theme? I think that's up for interpretation. I think they've made it work, not just with the theming and the way it looks, but with the story as well. This is the moment we find out if we have the chance of riding. All right, here we go. What the flip?
What happened?
Close.
We didn't get it?
No. Oh, God. This is what it is. We didn't get the virtual queue. And I would be lying if I wasn't upset about it. That was going to be like the grand finale of this video and the thing that we're even here to talk about, the thing that's changing the future of Frontierland is Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and here it is. Here it is, but we don't get to ride it. That virtual queue went in like 2.5 seconds. I've never missed a virtual queue, and I think that's why I'm most upset about it. I've pretty much mastered that thing, and I didn't even get it. But it's been breaking down all day. Yeah, so we're not riding it today. Yeah, I might not have been able to get on the ride, but the future of Frontierland remains the same. Take it how you will, it's changing. And I think it's for the better. I think we're gonna see some pretty awesome changes pretty soon. When will we get to ride Tiana's? I don't know. Stay tuned though, because I am still super excited to ride it. I know at some point we will. So that will be a future video. But until then, can there be a Frontierland? Is there a Frontierland dad saying